So you've never watched Outlander at all before?
I remember watching parts of the pilot with my wife.
Okay.
And going, this is silly. And I walked away.
It is kind of silly, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like high art, but it's fun.
Yeah, but it's just as silly as anything else. And you usually have to give something a couple of tries before you get into it. So I was like searching for something to watch, and she kept telling me I would like this show. So I was like, all right, I'll do 5 episodes.
Okay.
And it was like,
you know me.
Yeah, I was like, I got to number 4, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what the formula is and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I think I got to like 7, and episode 7 is where I stopped watching. So I was like, all right, this is something I need to talk to people about.
People disappear all the time. Young girls run away from home. Children stray from their parents and are never seen again. Housewives take the grocery money in a taxi to the train station. Most are found eventually. Disappearances, after all, have explanations. Usually.
Okay, so my name is Kevin, and I grew up in New York. I currently live in Seattle. I normally enjoy fantasy and historical television programs. I've been aware of this TV series for a while. I watched the pilot with my wife a little bit, but that was all I knew about it for years. She's been telling me that I should get into this series. And then finally, because of current events, I've been dying to find a TV series with a lot of seasons that I can kind of get into. And when I started watching this, I knew it was something that I'd really like. And I wanted to find a way to kind of savor it. So what I wanted to do was get a group together where we can discuss each episode as we watch it and create this series together. So I have very limited experience with the series. I have seen up till episode 7 so far, and I have knowledge that there are books, but that's about it. And I also have a little bit of knowledge about the history around where this takes place, but also I'm not too sure. So I'm excited to share my thoughts on the series as we go forward.
Love it. So my name is Olivia. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and now I live in Alexandria, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. I just started watching Outlander and have already burned through every episode there is. It was one of those things where I was also aware of the show, but I had I had a little bit of a negative impression of it because of the folks just like what I'd heard about it and the folks I knew who watched it. But once I started it, I really got hooked. I love historical like dramas and things like that. I love that kind of genre. Yeah, I was really pulled into it for that reason. And then it did also really get me interested in the history, and it had me Googling all the time, like, wait a minute, what happened? Who is Bonnie Prince Charlie? Like, going back and forth and trying to understand what all the events were, the context of it. So I found it really interesting, and now I'm pretty invested. I've watched it more than one time. It's become one of those things, like if I'm homesick or something, I just turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
okay.
Background, that kind of thing. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I'd love to talk, through some things that I've really enjoyed about it and just sort of the reaction to it. I think it does bear second watching. So since you've gotten part of the way through,
mm-hmm.
and I think a rewatch would be fun too for the first couple ones because you notice some stuff.
In rewatching the first episode, and even the first time I watched it with my wife, I walked out of the room, and then forcing myself to try and get into the series, watching episode 1, I kind of was like, oh, this is really slow. I realized it's a lot of setup. And also I realized in rewatching, I wrote down a bunch of stuff where either they're setting up things that haven't happened yet, because there's probably a lot of things that happened in that first episode that have more meaning down the road.
Yeah, where you like kind of, there's even like some things even now that I'm wondering, what might be significant later.
How could I remember something that hadn't happened yet?
Please check out our episode 1 review, linked here. Also, please check out the playlist for all the episodes we've recorded so far. Like and subscribe for future episodes. A special thank you to Elizabeth for joining me on this introduction. And thank you for watching.